Hardy geraniums, also known as cranesbills, are a must-have for any gardener looking to add long-lasting color and effortless charm to their garden. These perennials are reliable, tough, and incredibly easy to care for, making them perfect for both beginners and experienced gardeners. Over the years, I've found that with the right growing conditions, occasional division, and strategic shearing, hardy geraniums will reward you with wave after wave of beautiful blooms. Hardy geraniums thrive in a range of conditions, which is one of the reasons I love them. They grow well in full sun to partial shade, making them adaptable to different garden spaces. If you have a shaded garden, don't worry. Some varieties, such as geranium phaeum, do exceptionally well in lower light. To give these plants the best start, I always choose a location with well-draining soil. While they can tolerate a range of soil types, they perform best in moderately fertile soil that's been enriched with compost. I like to plant mine in early spring or autumn, as this gives them plenty of time to establish strong roots before facing summer heat or winter cold. Once established, hardy geraniums require minimal watering. They are naturally drought tolerant, but during dry spells, I make sure to give them a deep soak every week. If you're growing them in containers, they will need a bit more frequent watering. Although they don't require heavy feeding, I like to give my hardy geraniums a little boost in early spring with compost or a balanced slow-release fertilizer. This helps encourage healthy foliage and an abundance of flowers throughout the season. Like many perennials, hardy geraniums benefit from occasional division. If you notice that your plants are becoming crowded or producing fewer flowers, it's a sign that they need some extra space. I usually divide mine every 3 to 5 years to keep them vigorous and blooming beautifully. I prefer dividing my geraniums in early spring or early autumn when the temperatures are mild. To start, I dig up the plant carefully, lifting as much of the root system as possible. Using a sharp spade or a garden knife, I separate the plant into smaller sections, ensuring that each division has a healthy amount of roots and foliage. After dividing, I immediately replant the sections in well-prepared soil, spacing them about a foot apart to give them room to grow. A deep watering helps them settle in quickly. Within weeks, I usually see fresh growth emerging, and by the following season, the plants are full and thriving again. One of the best tricks to keep hardy geraniums blooming all season long is shearing. If your plants start to look a bit tired, leggy, or if the blooms slow down, a quick trim can work wonders. I usually shear mine back after the first main flush of flowers, typically in midsummer. Using sharp garden shears, I cut the foliage down by about 1/3 to half its height. This might look drastic, but don't worry. Within a few weeks, new growth will appear, followed by a fresh round of blooms. After shearing, I make sure to water the plants well and give them a light feeding with compost or a diluted liquid fertilizer. This helps them bounce back quickly and produce even more flowers for the remainder of the growing season. While hardy geraniums are generally trouble-free, they can sometimes run into a few minor issues. Powdery mildew can appear in humid conditions, but I prevent this by ensuring good air circulation around my plants and avoiding overhead watering. Pests like slugs and snails can sometimes target young growth. To keep them at bay, I use natural deterrents like crushed eggshells around the base of the plants or diatomaceous earth. If your geraniums aren't flowering as much as they used to, overcrowding might be the issue. That's a sign that it's time to divide them, giving each plant more room to flourish. Hardy geraniums are one of those garden plants that just keep giving. With minimal care, they will bloom generously and spread naturally over time. By choosing the right location, giving them an occasional divide, and shearing them back at the right time, you'll ensure a vibrant, long-lasting display year after year. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to subscribe to Botanical Bliss for more expert gardening tips. Share this with your fellow gardeners, and let's keep growing together.